And so yesterday I left you waiting for the gift of the Holy Spirit of fortitude. We already looked through three of them. The first is the gift of wisdom, that ability to know that there is something greater than this world. Then the gift of understanding, which is God revealing to us to the level which is most appropriate to us and which is in accord with our nature of how much we need to understand of our faith to get us to heaven. Then is the gift of counsel, which is the gift of prudence in the natural world, that ability to see and to weigh up the world around us, to make decisions, to make good decisions. To what end? Well, to the end of getting to heaven in accordance with wisdom. But we know that this is not always easy. I often explain these gifts of the Holy Spirit to young people as they prepare for their confirmation. And perhaps this then becomes one of the most important things I talk about, which is the gift of fortitude, the gift of courage. Perhaps they don't understand it, but on one level I think they do. And that is, it's difficult to make decisions, and it's difficult to stand out in a crowd. As human beings, we want to be different from everyone else. That's why people have different haircuts. They wear different styles of glasses, different clothes, like different types of music. But it's only ever within a certain circle that we're different. We don't want to be completely different from everyone else, because as soon as we are, then we feel ostracized. We feel as if we are not part of the clan, not part of the group. And all of us want to belong. And so there is always this tension of defining who we are by our individuality, and then of being able to stand on our own 2 feet and define ourselves as a human being, different from anyone else, but wanting to be part of the group. That's in sociological terms. But with that always playing in the background, that desire to belong, to be accepted by others, what happens when those around us, our groups, our peers, our society, the world, tells us to act and to believe and to do one thing, and yet, having weighed up the understanding that we have of the world, understanding, of the things which are truly important, wisdom, giving it true understanding, truly weighing it, sieving it, deciding it, counsel, we know that what we have to do is at odds with those around us, because we know what is true. We know what God is asking us to do. Suddenly, if this is different from everyone else, then it's difficult. I'll say this to the kids and say, what is it? What are you going to do? If you know that you should go to Mass on a Sunday, you want to go to Mass on a Sunday, you know that you have to go to Mass on a Sunday, and yet nobody else does, none of your friends do, and they say, ooh, what are you doing believing all that rubbish? How are you going to deal with it? How are you going to deal with it as you go through life? And people say, no, what you need to do, go off to university, go out all the time, just live the life of Riley, do what you like, it doesn't matter. Wake up in somebody's bed the next day, doesn't matter at all, as long as you don't harm anyone else, blah, blah, blah. How are you going to act? What are you going to do? If you know what is right and true and honourable and just, if you know through wisdom, understanding and counsel how you should act, are you going to stand against the world? Are you going to say, no, my faith tells me that this is right? Because to do that, which you have to have any integrity, any honesty within you, to do that takes courage. It takes fortitude, bravery, to stand up and say, no, I do not accept what you're saying. I do not accept what you're telling me. For a kid, perhaps, that's to do with areas of morality, areas of behavior. For us, as we get a bit older, our temptations become different. Perhaps it is that I don't want to be a part of that career progression. I don't want to be part of all of that backbiting, all of that gossip. I don't want to be part of those conversations. I don't want to go around to your house and for you to sit there and slag off the church, slag off the faith. What am I going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand up for what is right, stand up for what is true, stand up for what is honest. And you know what? It is going to be difficult. And I may lose friends by the bucket load on the way. But it's right. Counsel tells me it's right. because I know that there is something greater. Wisdom has told me that's right. And I know it in accordance with my faith because understanding has told me it's right. And do you know what? It may be difficult in the short term. It may be a hard thing to do, but one moment when you just say, hang on a minute. No, you stop. I'm not going to act in that way. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to become that person. Or if I have become that person, I'm going to stop it now and I am going to change. And where do I get that courage from? Where do I get that bravery from? Where do I get that fortitude from? I get it from the gift of the Holy Spirit. Because it is only the Holy Spirit who can give me the backbone that I need. We'll go through life and we'll bend over. But then suddenly at certain points we just say, do you know what? No, I've had enough. If we could live our life having the courage at every single moment to turn to God, to know what is right from God, about God, by God, through God, leading to God, then the acts of courage and fortitude that we need day by day, moment by moment, will not be these great life-changing things, perhaps. But then again, who knows what God the Holy Spirit is asking of us? Fortitude, courage, strength. By God we need it. In our world, by God we need it.